Hello everyone, chỉ còn trong vòng khoảng chừng 45 phút nữa là sắp sửa tới buổi tiệc gala đầu tiên do cộng đồng người Việt tại Las Vegas tổ chức để giới thiệu ra mắt ban chấp hành và tất cả các boss. Hiện giờ Kim Ngân đang giúp để mà sắp xếp những cái trophy cho những người community leaders, những người có công với cộng đồng và những người thành công ở tại Mỹ cũng như ở tại Las Vegas này.
Xin kính chào quý vị, Shane Nguyễn đây. Lần đầu tiên cộng đồng Việt Nam mình có một cái gala. Gala là một cái special event mà quan trọng nhất là cộng đồng Việt Nam sẽ recognize award cho mấy 5 people, nghĩa là 5 người giúp cộng đồng ở Las Vegas. Thì lần đầu tiên cộng đồng làm một cái event rất là special, rất là đặc biệt, rất là bự. Anh chị thấy không? Rất là bự. Sẽ có hơn 250 người ở đây.
So, several things. I'm going to talk about crime. Obviously, we don't want our city to become like so many of these other cities in America that have been overrun with crime. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm also going to talk about our community efforts as we move forward. We've had this sort of focus in on community outreach at Metro for a very long time, and certainly with the AAPI community. But what I found is that we really need to do a better job and get further into the Asian communities so that we have a unique relationship with the Vietnamese community and the Filipino community and the Chinese community, because customs and values, and it's not all the same. Culture. Not everything is the same, and so we really need to help my officers better understand each of those communities so that we can develop partnership and trust.
As a daughter of immigrant parents who moved here in 1965, I know very well how hard Mommy and Papi worked every single day. Moving here to Las Vegas in 1965, really searching for that American dream and working every single day of their lives. So honored to be here to say thank you to all of you for all of your contributions to our state, for everything that you do in the spaces of workforce development, small businesses, community service, and really being an integral part of our state and our community.
Thank you so much. I did win this election in June 14th in the primary. By the way, that's never been done by a non-incumbent sheriff. So we made history with that with your help, and I'm extremely grateful to you all. A couple of things I just want to go ahead and mention around that, though, and what's important to this community as well is that we all know that when we talk about what a sheriff does, that we want our communities to be safe. And we have a lot of excellent people here in this room that are going to help me as I am moving forward as your sheriff to really focus on a number of very key issues. And if you look at today, some of the challenges that we have both in policing in our community, we have homelessness, mental health, and addiction that are challenges to us all. And by the way, the Clark County Detention Center is the largest provider for mental health, addiction, and homelessness. You know what? Incarceration doesn't fix mental health, addiction, or homelessness. And so people like Commissioner Sigerbloom and a number of others are going to all come together, and we are going to really do this in a bipartisan way, because the sheriff is not Republican or Democrat. We are going to find solutions so that people across this great country of ours are going to look back at Las Vegas and say, how in the world did you guys do that? Because this is extremely important as we move forward in keeping our community safe, addressing the needs of the people that are severely challenged within our community. We're going to do that. The other thing I want you to know, in particular to this group, I was told that there's about 35,000 Vietnamese here in Las Vegas. Somewhere between 35 and 40,000 Vietnamese in Las Vegas. And you know, when we talk about community outreach, we always talk about sort of AAPI specific outreach. And it's a strange umbrella because when you look within the Asian community, you're talking about things like Vietnamese and Filipino, Chinese and Japanese, and all of those groups have different cultures and traditions. And one of the ways that I know that is the most effective at fighting crime is developing relationships within community. Because when you develop those relationships within community, you develop trust. When you develop trust, you can actually get things done. And so we're going to have this community effort that's really focused in on getting and developing relationships with each of those various different cultures. And the same thing in the Hispanic community. Because somebody from El Salvador is not the same as somebody from Cuba. How do we better understand, and how do you educate our officers better so that we can serve you in a markedly different way? And I realized after 30 years of working as a sheriff, or I was under sheriff for 6 years, but 30 years in law enforcement, that there's something that we haven't done very well in law enforcement. And that's taking care of the men and women of law enforcement. Because I will tell you that when you go out and you see the worst of humanity, and you have this cumulative trauma effect of being on hundreds of homicide scenes and sexual assaults and all of the terrible things that we have to see, we never acknowledge it. In fact, it's sort of taboo to talk about mental health. We don't talk about singular instances of trauma like 1 October, what our men and women went through that day and the death and destruction that we saw. So I'm forming what I call a wellness bureau at Metro. And the wellness bureau is designed to take care of the heart, mind, body, and soul of our cops. Because I know this, if we take care of our cops in a markedly different way than we've ever taken care of them, they're going to take care of this community in a markedly different way than it's ever been taken care of. And so, thank you. Just the last thing I want to say to you is that I did win for sheriff June 14th, but I don't take office until January 4th. So I am out working in the community right now, doing as much as I possibly can. I don't have any power. Joe Lombardo's still the sheriff. So it's a strange position to be in. I'm glad I'm not like the rest of the politicians here that are having to suffer through miserable campaigning. I bless all of you for doing it. All great candidates, and God bless you all, and thank you very much for having me.
All right. Once here, okay. Tonight, you will begin your term as board members of the Vietnamese American Community of Las Vegas. The responsibility of this position is to lead the organization professionally and with deep commitment to the mission of the organization at all times. In taking this oath, you are accepting that responsibility. Will you please raise your right hand? Your other right hand? No. Do you solemnly swear that you will administer the position you were appointed to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the bylaws of the Vietnamese American Community of Las Vegas? Please signify by saying, I will. That you will be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and integrity in every endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the Vietnamese American Community of Las Vegas, its membership, and the community at large in which you serve? If so, please say, I will. You may now lower your hands. By the power vested in me as a justice of the peace of the North Las Vegas Township, I now proclaim you as duly installed as members of the Executive Board, Board of Directors, and Advisory Board of the Vietnamese American Community of Las Vegas. Congratulations.
Oh, okay, let's take a picture with Judge Kalani. All right, congratulations to all the board members.